Hello on this lovely autumn afternoon and welcome to St Michael's Cemetery in Dumfries beside Robert Burns' amazing mausoleum. My name is Kate Kay. I am the president of Dumfries Ladies Burns Club number 1. And the reason I'm standing here today is just to say that unfortunately we are not able again this year to run our much loved and missed Tam O Shanter competition, which should have taken place tomorrow evening in the Globe. This time last year I thought, roll on 2021 when we can get going again, but sadly it's not to be. Last year, by Zoom, something we've all had to become acquainted with, there was a Tam Fest held in Ayr, and there was a Tam O Shanter competition within this Tam Fest, and the winner was a gentleman called Andy Harrower. And our own Senior Vice President, Jackie Higgins, was a judge at this competition. And Andy, as I say, won it. And he has very kindly said he's willing to tell us the tale of Tam O Shanter. Now, Andy is a member of Medicine Hat Burns Club and also a member of Ravana. So there we are. And I would just like to say in closing, stay safe everyone, and let's hope in the not too distant future we can all meet again in Burns.
Tam O Shanter, a tale. When Chapman Billies leave the street and Ruthie neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tap the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy and getting fou and unca happy, we think na the Langscott smiles, the mossies, waters, slaps and styles, that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth, fund honest, Tam O Shanter, as he frae airy Nick did canter, all there, when there a tune-sup passes, for honest men and bonny lasses. Ah, Tam, hadst thou but been so wise, as ta'en thine ain wife Kate's advice, she told the wielder was a skellum, a bletherin, blusterin, drunken blellum, that frae November to October, a market day thou wasna sober, that ilka melder with a miller, thou sat as long as thou at siller, that every knee was cad a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring foo on, that at the legs was even on Sunday, thou drank wi' Curtin Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon there would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the muck, by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me grief, to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened sage advices the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale. The market night, Tam had got planted unquarite, fast by an ingle, bleezing finely, with reemin swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty Ruthie crony. Tam load him like a very brother. They had been fou for weeks together. The night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady in Tam grew gracious, with secret favours, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might rear or rustle. Tam didna mind the storm or whistle. Here, mad to see a man so happy, he'en drowned himself among the nappy. As bees flee hame wi' lades o' treasure, the minutes winged their way wi' pleasure. kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. Who sees the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis race, that flit ere you can point their place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, a vanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam one ride. That hour on Egg's black arch the keystay. That dreary hour Tam mounts his beasting. And sick a night he tacks the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blaw on its last. The rattling showers rose on the blast. The speedy gleams the darkness swallowed. Loud deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand. The deil had business on his hand. Weel mounted on his grey mare, Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelped it on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his gid blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where geese and pullets nightly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman snored, and past the bucks and meikle stane, where drunken Charlie bracks neck bane, and through the winds and by the cairn, where hunters fund the murdered bairn, and near the thorn aboon the well, where Mungo's mither hanged herself. Before him doon pours all his floods. The Dublin storms rose through the woods. The lightnings flashed be pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll. When glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounding mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us strong. We tippenny, we fear nae evil. We uskeray, we face the devil. The swat sair reamed in Tammy's noddle. Fair play he ca, nae deals a boddle. But Maggie stood right sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished. She ventured forward on the light, and vow, Tam saw an unca sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillion bred new frae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels, put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape a beast, a towsy type, black, grim and large. To gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses, that shod the dead in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet earns, twa spanlang wee unchristent bairns, a thief you cutted for a rate with his last gasp he gabbed at gate, 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son a life bereft, the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft, with near horrible and awful, which even to name would be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they clicked, till ilka carlin swat and reeked, and Custer durries to the wa, and linked at it in her sa. Now Tam had they been queens, or plump and strapping in their teens, their sacks a steady creasy flinin being snow white 1700 linen. The bricks o' mine, my only pair, the ince were plush or gid blue hair. I would have given them off my hardies, for ae blind go the bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rig woody hags with spina foal, flouping and flinging on a crummet. So wonder didn't it turn my stomach. The Tam kenned what was what through brawly. There was a winsome wenchie Wally that night listed in the core, long after kenned on Carrick shore. For many a beast did she shot, and perished many a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and held the countryside in fear. Her cutty sack o' Paisley harn, that while a lassie she had worn, and long the cheek, though sorely scanty, it was her best that she was banty. Ah, little kenned I reverend granny, that sack she coughed for her wee nanny, wi' twopun Scots, 'twas all riches, would ever grace a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wingman cower, sic flights are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lappin' flying, a supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood like ane bewitched, and always very enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged full fain, and hushed and blew wi' micht and main, till first a caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and roars out, "Weel done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. As bees bezoot wi' angry fight, when plundering herds assail their bite, as up in pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when "Catch the thief!" resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an eldritch screech and hollow. Ah, Tam, they'll get thy fearing, and hell they'll roast thee like a hern. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming. Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, to win the keystane i' the breg. They're at them down, thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare nae cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, flew it hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little wist she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought off her master hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clottered by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, while this tale the truth shall read, ilk man and mother son tak heed. Whene'er to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you may buy the joys o'er dear. Remember Tam O Shanter's mare.